Excerpts from the Anatomy of Healing Prayer, Holmes Papers Volume 2 by Ernest Holmes. No matter how often they are told, many people do not understand the significance of spiritual mind healing, nor what it is, nor what it is based on. Most people think we are materializing spirit or spiritualizing matter, or that we are influencing lower planes by a higher plane, and there is no such thing. What you see and what you do not see is the same thing, except what you do not see is what you do see when you can see it. But here is the whole basis of spiritual mind treatment, consciously used or scientifically used or applied, definitely for a specific purpose. Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, widely recognized as the founder of the New Thought movement, and the first one who discovered how to give a spiritual mind treatment, said, "Matter is mind in form, and mind is matter in solution," that the treatment is not a mental or spiritual thing, operating upon a physical or material something, that the apparent material and physical something is not any different from the formless part of itself. It is merely the form that that same substance takes, because thought could not affect anything other than that which was a product of mind, could it? Now, spiritual mind treatment consciously used, then, is a definite and persistent and consistent attempt to think straight and logically, basing the assumption on a concept of an undivided and indivisible spiritual universe here and now, and translating everything into the terms of mind in action as law and conscious intelligence as directive power. There isn't a branch of metaphysics that would escape coming under these two categories of presence and person, and law and order. Law knows nothing but to do, and the presence knows of nothing that can contradict it. First basic principle we have to suppose is that creation, the act of creation, is merely the act of a creative principle operating upon itself, and out of itself making what it creates, and what it creates is still itself as the creation. Our whole practice and theory is based on the assumption that the visible and the invisible are equal, identical, and interchangeable. Now, it is only on the assumption that nothing moves but intelligence that we can give a treatment. Now, our whole method of technique and practice proceeds on the assumption and basis and theory that law is mind in action, and that wherever we create a mental state relative to anything, and identify that thing with it, that which we recognize in our statements, realize and speak into them, tends to become true as to this situation. And because it does, whatever we put into the treatment will come out of it. Say, this is the law of elimination to whatever is discordant. Whatever doesn't belong, this establishes harmony. It will do it. When you announce this thing, the creative principle, acting as law, accepts the answer, and intuitively and instinctively and innately knows, without knowing that it knows, what the answer is and produces it. I'm talking about the universe of law and order. The principle acts by reacting. It reacts to the demand made upon it by answering that demand. This is what they call emergent evolution. And so we are dealing with a principle which not only receives the impress of our thought and acts upon it creatively, it is a principle which knows within itself what to do. Thoughts are literally things. They do not operate upon things, and this is possible if the universe in which we live is a system of intelligence, a spiritual system governed by laws which are intelligence operating mechanically as law, always producing an inevitable result. It will be done unto you. And this we must accept as the nature of the universe in which we live. Phineas Parkhurst Quimby was proceeding on the assumption that mind is matter in solution, matter is mind in form, but he said they are both united. Put together, they constitute the matter of a superior wisdom, and that is very interesting. We believe in divine patterns and not divine plans. We believe in something that is added to the philosophy and the theology of what all the churches believe in. We do not disbelieve what they believe in, fundamentally. In essence, they all believe about the same thing. But we do believe this, that we are living in a spiritual universe right now. The universe is a spiritual system. It is intelligent and governed by intelligence. Because it is intelligent, it is a unity. Because there is nothing unlike it with which to divide it, therefore it remains a unity. That which is a unity is present in its entirety at any and every point. Whatever God is what we are, and there is no difference between the word of truth we speak and the word of truth God speaks, because when we speak a word of truth, it is truth announcing itself, and that is God. Emerson said, "Who in his integrity worships God becomes God." It cannot be otherwise. Life is, that is self-evident. Whatever life is, it is. We choose to call life by the name of God or truth or reality or the supreme intelligence or divine spirit or creative genius or universal mind. It doesn't matter what we call it. All these mean the same thing. Life is, or the truth is that which is. That is the first axiom of reason or self-evident reality, fellows. Now it is self-evident that there can only be one life. There is one life, that life is God, that life is my life. All of the God there is at any and every point of infinity. And it is why the ancients said, it is that whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. Treatment is the heart of our work, and without it, what have we to offer? Nothing to offer except the proof. We have something to prove, and that is the availability of presence, of law, of person, and of power. We don't spiritualize matter or materialize spirit. We are not using a spiritual power to operate on a physical one, else we shall be using some power to operate upon the inertia of a resistance. And as long as we operate upon the inertia of a resistance, we shall be resisting it. We are not trying to get a spiritual universe to operate on a physical one. We are not trying to get a word of truth to operate on a word of untruth. This, too, is dualism. We are not trying to get a good to overcome an evil. There is no evil in the universe. You certainly do not have to deny fact to affirm a faith, because, as I read, the larger order includes everything. The greater includes the lesser. The subtleness of the mind is the most elusive thing in the world, and in this very elusiveness is the key to success or failure.